Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today. So thank you guys once again for joining in with us. As always, we're going to go ahead and get started looking at some stocks as we normally will do. All right. So we'll give it a few minutes here, let some more people kind of roll in. All right, looks like we got some people in here. So, welcome back to another trading day. Hopefully everybody had a good Father's Day and a good weekend. So happy Father's Day or happy late Father's Day to all of you guys out there. Good morning, NASDAQ SE. Good morning, Bo. Good morning, Abdul. Morning, good morning. All right, guys. So hopefully today is a profitable day. Where are we at? So, as you can see in the headline, got a few stocks here this morning. Good morning, Hannah. We have a few stocks here this morning that I'll be watching. As you can see in the headline, at the title of the video, those are primarily all the stocks that I will be watching today. Again, watch list was created a little bit earlier in the morning. All my watch lists that I create are usually early in the morning. So sometimes by the time I get on to YouTube, some things can change. But again, here we are. So let's get into it. I'll start sharing the screen and we'll go over the stocks. All right. All right, guys. So main stock or first stock that we'll cover, I'm just going to go down the list, not in any particular order. But the main stock here this morning that I was watching, well, one of them, shall I say, let me get this off the screen. There we go, is GOOS. So here we are. So GOOS. So this was the earnings play Friday that we were talking about. All right. This was the earnings play Friday that we did mention to keep an eye on. Earlier in the morning, right out of the gates, it ended up taking a massive dump, which then it recovered and is now all the way back up to about $61 a share. It's currently gapping down. So I don't actually think we're going to see a red day on the stock GOOS or GOOS. What I think we're going to see is this is going to kind of come down a little bit, and then I think we're actually going to bounce. All right, so we're going to watch GOOS long today. It's possible that it does go red on the day, and it's better for a short play. But if you were to look right now, it's currently holding up right now. Holding a support right off the 200 moving average right here. You can kind of see it's kind of hovering around, bouncing off this this purple line, which is also the 200 moving average. So the way I see it is, if in fact the stock GOOS did want to kind of come down out of the gates or maybe even go red, we would end up seeing it bounce off this green line right here, which is also the previous high from pre-market trading on Friday. All right, so that's kind of what I would expect to see happen. Is if it does in fact come a little lower, we'll see it bounce off that green line that's on my chart, which is right above $59. So it's about $59.50 is where I expect we might see a bounce. So we could watch GOOS long today. It's an earnings play. We might have a 2-day continuation. On the second note, you do have to be a little bit careful because the stock is very, very extended. All right, it's up over, it's extended by about $14, $15 a share. So again, chances are, I don't think we're actually going to see it come down today heavy, but I think it's very possible that we might go on a 2-day continuation up just based on the way the chart's looking. Now, it did have very heavy volume Friday. So it's possible that this volume and the volatility will carry into today, and we might see it push higher. Now, if it breaks down below this support level, this green line of about $59.50, I would then be tempted to short the stock. All right. So again, you always have to be careful with these big gap up stocks when going long, because they have a big way or a lot of room in which they could come down. So we're watching it both long and both short. Another possibility to watch out for is, you could see the stock kind of curl down, then pop up to about the pre-market high, which is 61.70, and then it starts coming down. All right. So a couple possibilities. Keep your eyes on GOOS this morning. All right. On to the next one here is, what do we got? IQ. So IQ is another stock we're watching. As you can see on Friday, it's seen a lot of volatility where it dumped, spiked, dumped, rolled around, went high, came down, went up, came down. So a lot of opportunity, guys. I mean, if you just alone, you could have, you could have just traded this stock alone. You could have shorted it out of the gates. You could have longed it on a reversal. You could have dip bought it here, rode it all the way up. You could have shorted the top. You could have expected the short squeeze long here. Then you could have shorted it down for the fade. Then you could have hit a reversal here and up. I mean, this thing was in play all day long. I mean, there was opportunities left and right all day long on the stock IQ. So again, that was a pretty interesting stock to watch. Watch it trade on Friday. So where are we at today? Well, if you look at the daily chart, you'll see that on Friday, it closed with a red doji at the top of an uptrend. So this, in fact, could be signaling we're going to have a red day today. So I'm going to be watching IQ short. What I would like to see happen is I would like to see it kind of do this, where it comes down and it spikes up, and then we come back down. So that's what I would expect to see is we're probably going to see a pop and then a re-short on IQ today. So we're going to be watching IQ short, and if I had to mark off a level, it's probably going to be right here. Ooh, let me put that back up right about there. And then maybe even, maybe right there. So again, just marking off kind of these pre-market areas in which we could see the stock bounce, reject, come down for a short position. All right. So there's not too much more than IQ there. Again, it's a stock that had heavy volume Friday, and we might see that volume and volatility carry over in today. But for the most part, would be watching IQ short today, especially after it's had such a nice push up. I would expect to see it kind of pull back closer to the 9 moving average. So again, we'll be watching IQ short bias here today. Next one on the list, Dropbox, DBX. Oh, that's not DBX. So DBX, all right, for 4 days, it's been going straight up. So it's seen a nice push to the upside. If you look at this chart here, you'll see that it perfectly popped to $40 and then it faded out. It went back up close to $40 and then it faded out again. It's currently gapping down. So for me, I would like to short Dropbox. Excuse me. So for me, again, I'm pretty much short bias on Dropbox. What I would like to see happen is very similar to IQ. We're dropping down. We're starting to curl. I would like to see it pop up and then re-short today. Now, Dropbox has been pretty strong over these past couple days. Again, this volume and volatility could, in fact, carry over today. Now, it has pulled back pre-market. So again, what I would like to see is a pop up, and then it rolls over, and then we go short on the stock. Again, if you look at the yearly chart, you can see that it's very extended. So it's, for me, it'd be very surprising to see this have a really, really strong green day, considering we've had 4 good green days in a row. To see it go green again would be very surprising, and I kind of doubtful that we'll see a huge green day, especially with the $40 mark being right here. We rejected it. And then you have the 9 moving average all the way down at $33, right? So that's a big, there's a huge gap from support to price action. There's a big gap right now. So again, I'd be very surprised to see this have a strong green day. So we will be watching IQ short today. Areas where we could see it bounce will be off all these low points from Friday's trading. So one there, and that's really the major one. So if IQ does go short, we're probably going to see it bounce right at about $37.50. So we could short this down, watch it bounce off at $37.50. All right. Next one on the list. If I was saying IQ, I apologize. This is Dropbox. So again, Dropbox short today. Next one on the list is JD. That's JD. So JD, if you're not familiar yet, JD, it's a $43 stock. If you read the news, so if you were to go and check the news on Thinkorswim, you'll see that Google has invested $550 million into the Chinese e-commerce business JD. With that being said, this thing has been seeing a lot of volume this morning. It's over 1 million shares of volume traded pre-market. So it's heavily traded right now. It's very active. It's had a big gap up this morning. I would expect to see JD go long. I'm going to be watching JD long bias today. So the reason I'm watching it long bias is because it had very good news. Google investing $550 million into a $40 stock, that's really big news. That's the type of news that could push a stock even higher. So we'll be watching JD long. Right now it's fading out, which is expected. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money on JD, over the weekend, right? This big gap up. So I wouldn't be surprised to maybe even see it come down a little bit more out of the gates. But since it's already faded out pre-market, I think we're going to see JD just basically pop and run out of the gate. So again, we'll be watching JD this morning, long bias out of the gates. All right. So do keep your eyes on JD this morning for a long bias trade, considering it had very good news with Google investing $550 million into the company. Google has been granted to receive 27 million, a little more than 27 million shares issued at a price of $20.29 per share. Big news. All right, JD long. Next one on the list is Netflix. So Netflix, the reason Netflix is on the watch list is simply because it's been doing very well recently, but you can also see that it's had a strong run. So for about 4 days, it's gone from $360 to almost $400. So that's a $40 run. On Friday, it popped right to $398, and from there it faded out. So today, I would expect to see a little bit of a red day on Netflix, considering it's very extended. So I'm expecting to see a little bit of a pullback today on Netflix. So we will be watching Netflix short bias. Currently, kind of the best entry would most likely be below the pre-market low, which is at 388, 387.90, right in that area. Now, there were some people that shorted it on the end of day Friday. So it's possible that we'll see it kind of pop up like this, maybe retest the closing price from Friday, and then roll over, go short. So with that being said, again, we'll be watching Netflix short today. And then I also will mention one more thing. All right, so Netflix, again, we'll be watching it short. Something else I will mention is the stock CBIO. So CBIO is a bioscience company that went from $3 to $37. It was at $25 on Friday. This morning, it gapped down from 25 all the way down to 11. That is an extremely big gap down. Now, most of the time, I'm usually watching gap downs for further continuation to the downside. All right. But considering the fact that CBIO was $25 a share, now it's gapped down to about $12 a share, $13 a share. I'm going to watch it long. I think with this big of a gap down, it's going to create some area of opportunity in which we could see CBIO actually go long today. All right. So if it does pick up in some volume, I think that there's a strong chance we'll see CBIO actually pop and squeeze out of the gates. So the way to trade this is ideally going to be over its, ideally it's just going to be right over its kind of pre-market resistance area, which right now is about $13.50. So over $13.50, I'll be looking to take it long. with the first target being the 50 moving average. So this red line, that would be my first target sell area. If it breaks over the 50 moving average, it could really squeeze hard. So again, we'll be watching CBIO also long today. All right. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Watch CBIO long, big gap down, but it also had some bad news. I will mention it had really bad news. But I've seen stocks with really bad news that have gapped down. You know, this could be most of the move it's going to make. This gap down's really big. So again, it might not move lower, and if it's not going to move higher or lower, it's probably going to squeeze. There were a lot of short sellers that probably piled in this. You know, and here's another thing. If a bunch of people try and short it out of the gates today and it doesn't go down, it's probably going to squeeze really hard, just as Rainsoft said right now. You know, so again, that's the way I'll be trading that particular stock. NASDAQ, why is the IQ target price 149? The reason it's the target price is 149 is probably because some analysts gave it a target rating of 149. But there's been a lot of news and a lot of talk that people believe that IQ is going to be or is similar to Netflix. So it's a streaming service in China, I believe. And there's a lot of buzz and there's a lot of talk that the stock IQ or the company IQ is to be the next to Netflix or something very similar to Netflix, but it's China based. So a lot of people feel that it's a strong stock to invest in currently. That's why you've been seeing IQ have so many big days. And it's just kind of ripping back and forth because it's got a lot of volume. A lot of people anticipate the stock is going to be a very big company, very big stock. All right. So that's kind of what's going on there. There's a lot of buzz and hype around it being the new Netflix, shall you say. See this, guys? See this? Remember IQ? Remember how I said I was going to watch it? Ready? Watch it to curl and watch it to come up and reject and come down. That's exactly what we're seeing it do. And it's coming down very close to that line that I marked off, that green line you see right here. Very close to that green line, right in that area. So we're definitely seeing that happen. So still be watching IQ short today. All right. So that's primarily the watch list. I will take a quick second to look at the SPY here. So the SPY again, or the market, shall I say, is gapping down. You know, this is what we're saying. You know, I've been saying this for a couple weeks to watch the market as it gets up to 280, because once it hits 280, we're probably going to start rolling back down and coming down a little bit. And that's what happened. I mean, the real next strong support on the market is going to be at about 27,400 or 274, depending on if you're looking at the S&P 500 index or if you're looking at the SPY or Spider ETF fund, you know, whatever you're looking at. But, you know, I think we're going to see, I mean, I want to say we're going to go green. I think we are. I think it's going to try and pop up. And no, actually, am I sure about that? No, I'm not. That's the thing is it's bouncing off of the 275 area, but 275 is only a whole dollar mark support, whereas the real support is at like 274. So another dollar down would actually be the real support, but you know, who knows? But we have gone through the pullback on the market, so do expect that either today or tomorrow we're going to start going green in the market off of some of these support levels. Let's see. A VSTM, I looked at that a while ago. Yeah, earlier it wasn't really doing a whole lot, but now it seems to be doing more. It's not really your typical or kind of, so VSTM isn't your typical go-to long bias setup, but you could watch it. It does look like they have some news. So yeah, maybe watch VSTM because it does have some news and it does have some volume. But I don't like where it's at, right? I mean, it's not bad, I guess. I mean, to be honest, I'm not Not the one that I never trade VSTM. What I do know is that it is extended a little bit, so I would not be surprised to see it pull back. The nice thing is it popped up, it came back down, and now it's kind of curling back up, so you could watch it long. I'll take a second to look at Micron, which is MU. Let's see, MU. I figured it probably pulled back, so it's trying to bounce off that area. So if we're doing that. So if it's trying to bounce there, I wouldn't be surprised to see a green day on Micron. I would say Micron's probably setting up to go green today. Yeah, I'd watch MU long buys today. You can already see it's kind of building a support and a little bit of some higher lows here coming off these trend lines. All right, trend lines, boom. Yeah, I'd probably watch. Yeah, I would say Micron's probably long today. Yeah. So anywho, we'll end it there. Stop share. So we'll end it there. Again, I don't have time to go over all the stocks. My thoughts on Tesla, I think Tesla's too extended. It's going to start seeing some red days here. But other than that, those are all the stocks I'm watching today. So hopefully you guys have a profitable day trading here, myself included. You guys have my stocks for the day, so you guys keep an eye on them. I do believe that MU is a good long play today. That's the way it looks, at least. So we'll end it there. So once again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Private group is the first link in the description if you'd like to join in. Other than that, I will catch you guys all tomorrow morning for another pre-market watch list. No, Tesla. I just mentioned Tesla. Tesla looks very high. I don't like Tesla, but we'll see. Also, I will mention that what's his name? Elon Musk tweeted something. About short sellers are going to get crushed here within like the next 10 to 20 days or something. I don't know. But anywho, Tesla, I want it to go down. Everybody wants Tesla to go down, but who knows? So we'll end it there. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another pre-market watch list. All right, guys, take care. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Please do give me a like up, subscribe, and a share if you haven't already before you head out. Other than that, happy trading.